I tried to take a huge risk by buying this wrecked Porsche 911 Turbo that was crashed at Le Mans. I've been hunting for this exact car for over 2 years, so the moment I saw it pop up on Copart with only 14,000 miles, I knew I had to have it. But then there was a huge problem. With only 2 days left on the auction, the car vanished, and I was left with so many questions. Copart had no clear answers, so the only chance I had left was reaching out to my subscribers. At first, we heard nothing, so we thought my dream Porsche project had faded away. Until I got this message. But after days of back and forth and convincing, there was a chance that we might have been able to make a deal to benefit both of us. Let's hop in the car and pay a visit and see if we can get a deal done. First impressions?
It's crashed.
Thanks.
Let me introduce you to Otto, the owner of what once was a glorious Porsche 911 Turbo. Now we're going to hear the full story of exactly what happened to this car from Otto himself, but first let's have a quick dig around it. And I can't help but notice it's suspiciously clean.
Well, I didn't clean it. It just arrived yesterday. Okay.
So we began to look around it, and Otto ran me through everything that he did to the car just before the accident.
Full service, had it all PPF'd, renewed the warranty with Porsche.
Does that mean it's still got warranty on it?
I've got to check, yeah. Possibly.
Maybe. Complete rad pack on this side. It looks like that headlight's been took out to me, was that?
It flew up the motorway.
Oh, did it? Okay.
It popped out.
You grabbed it for me.
Engine and gearbox, absolutely superb.
It's they're a special car to me. They hold like a special place for me. So
yeah,
I'm looking forward to doing it. It's just a crash car at this point, isn't it? I don't normally even get. I don't get this luxury. I just kind of go. Looks good.
After some to-ing and fro-in between me and Otto, we finally came to an arrangement on this car, but there was one condition. I'd pay the price as long as the car started.
Let's see if we can get an ignition for a start. Try again.
I didn't use this a lot, and I always had it on a trickle charge, so up until the accident the battery was pretty good, but
yeah.
It's been sat now. Last time I saw this was probably 8.5, 9 weeks ago.
Right, okay, yeah.
So, yeah, it's quite emotional to see it last night.
I bet, yeah.
The battery was completely dead. Luckily I brought a jump pack, so hopefully that can get his ignition at least. But still, we had nothing. But then Otto spotted something.
Someone took the fuse cover off, and they tried to...
Maybe. They all seem to be in there.
Everything seems to be in there.
Yeah.
And even though it looked like it had been tampered with, there was nothing obvious missing.
No. That's a shame. Even straight after the accident it was running.
Was it?
I had to switch it off, then I restarted it, and I switched it off again.
Yeah.
But then I remembered the jump pack actually had a setting for completely dead batteries.
Aha. That sounds promising. Ah, there we go. We've got some juice.
Yes, you have.
Yeah.
Do you want to start it now?
Yeah, why not?
Hang on.
Oh, yeah.
Step one is complete. We've got ignition on the car, but the reality is we'd have never have been able to start this car without the help from Otto, because it turns out he had a ghost immobiliser fitted, means that you have to put a certain sequence in on the controls of the car before you can actually start it. This prevents it from being stolen, but means that if I'd have bought it from Copart, I'd have never have found out what the code was.
Sounds good. Sounds nice. I don't know how I made that work then, but it worked. It worked.
Though I'm happy. Give it a little blip.
Thankfully, the car started, which I guess means now I'm the new owner of a Porsche 911 Turbo. But normally, when I'm buying a salvage car, we're guessing as to what happened to it. But this time, because we're buying it from the original owner, who unfortunately had this accident, naturally, we wanted to hear exactly how all this damage happened.
I'm happy to share the story with you. Got a really nice, close circle of friends, and for the last 3 or 4 years, we've been doing sort of trips. We've done Frankenstein last year. Year before that, we did Le Mans, and then this year, we decided to go back to Le Mans, the classic. We had a great weekend, and it was really raining heavily on the Sunday, and we were camping. We decided to leave slightly early. We got in the car, and the road was really awful, and it aquaplaned and hit these barriers. It was like, it happened all so quickly.
Well, from what everyone sees at home when they watch these videos, and then obviously what we do, it kind of, when the car gets crashed for us, it's great because it gives us something to do. But then there's obviously another side to the story that obviously always sucks. Obviously, you put a lot of work and time into getting this, looking after it, picking the right one, and it's like you've treasured it. It's been your baby. And
it was a fantastic weekend. It's just didn't quite end up how I was hoping.
I think this can just serve as a reminder that this can happen to any of us at any point. It doesn't matter how good a driver you think you are, how good your car is.
I am stupid. I am stupid.
or how many years of experience you've got. Because when things go wrong, they go wrong fast.
The important thing is I walked away from it.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. That's the main thing, and you can replace cars.
You can.
Can't replace yourself. I suppose I best give you some money and get out your hair.
Yes, okay. Right.
So our trailer had just arrived, we'd got auto paid, and now we can start to load it up. So we don't have to leave it running for so long, we push it into position, then the recovery driver can hop in, start it quickly, and drive it onto his trailer, making sure not to leave it running for too long, because obviously at the moment, it's got no coolant in it.
Yeah,
Thanks
Chris,
so much, honestly.
Nice again.
Thank you.
To,
I look forward to showing you when it's done.
yeah, I can't wait, honestly, yeah.
One Porsche secured. I'm pretty happy with that. We agreed a price which I think had the auction run through on Copart, it'd have gone for more anyway. It's a 14,000 mile car, it's coming up to 12 years old. So, you know, with a car that age, with that mileage, is going to be really hard to find. I'd be hard strung to find a better candidate for what I want to do with it. So let's get back to the unit, get it off the trailer, and then it's Project 911. Oh wait, that sounds bad, doesn't it?
So I'm pretty happy with my purchase. I've been looking for one of these for 2 years, and I said they hold a special place in my heart, and let me explain to you why. So about 10 years ago, I met a man called Jamie. He was a friend of a friend, and my first impressions were he was a kind, friendly bloke. Now, when I quit my job selling furniture, I started my own business as a car detailer. This is when Jamie showed how much of a gent he really was. He was the first customer that ever booked in for a job with us, and continued to for years after. And for this, I will always be thankful. We went on to be good friends, and in that time, he picked himself up a 991 Turbo S. Black on black, it was gorgeous. One time when I was up there, we went out to get lunch, and he wanted me to drive it. He wanted me to experience that car, knowing that I might never get to. And it was incredible. By far at the time, the fastest car I'd ever driven. And from that point, whenever I see a 991 Turbo, I always associate it with that experience and with Jamie. But unfortunately, a few years ago, Jamie had an accident at home, which sadly cost him his life. And it goes without saying, this was obviously heartbreaking for all of his family and friends. And I'll always remember Jamie as a man that, regardless of how busy he was, always took time for people, wanted to share with those around him, and help anyone he could. And this will always leave a lasting impression on me. And I know for a fact if he could see how far I've got, he'd be so proud. So my friend, this one's for you.
So we managed to get it. What a result, right? It seemed like fate. It seemed like fate that we ended up with this car. So I'm very happy that after 2 years of looking, we finally have a 911 Turbo. It's the one I've wanted for a long time. Mickey, what do you think?
Oh, man. 911 Turbo.
We need to see what's going on with it, because there is pretty obviously some damage going on up here. Now, obviously we've done a GT4 before, so we know this pretty well. So far, from what we can see, luckily back here, where we had to change before, all looks okay. So we can quite clearly see there's some knock on the front end. The problem with this is it's not just a bumper and crash bar replacement, because both of the legs here and here look to have twisted around that way a tad, which is going to obviously throw everything out of kilt. So that means there's going to be some structural parts we're going to have to change in this, and hopefully it's not as bad as the GT4 which we did before. First thing we need to do, get the bonnet off. Now in Porsches, you get a tool to take out the headlight, because they're actually like really easy to do. So say your headlight's here, this one's obviously missing. There's a little bit here you can slide that into. See that? That then slots onto there, like so, and you use that to twist that, which then releases the headlight, unplug it, and it comes out. Obviously that one's moved a bit.
And because it's moved so much, it makes it a lot harder to get out, so we just have to rip it out in pieces. There's no other way.
By the way, we set ourselves the challenge over 2 years ago of hitting 500,000 subscribers by the end of this year. And we're very close, but the clock is ticking and it's coming round fast. So if you haven't subscribed and you're enjoying these videos, and there's loads of you watching which aren't, make sure to go down there, hit that subscribe button. It's completely free, and help us hit our milestone. So we think we've got away quite lightly, because this crash sensor here just avoided getting damaged, which means that the interior is practically unmarked. No steering wheel airbag gone, no dashboard, no curtains, no door cards, no seats, which in the grand scheme of things is going to save us a few £1,000s. So that is definitely a win, I'd say. So that should keep the cost of the build a little bit lower. They're all just crazy loose, all the crossbar bolts. I don't know if someone's already had them off and just tightened them back in, but yeah, very strange.
Anti-roll bar's not bent, steering arm's not bent. Actually looks alright in here. Everything's intact. It's literally half of the front little front.
So we're working our way through getting this front end completely stripped down. Everything around this boot area needs to come off, and all of the damaged stuff we need to note down and get ordered. Next to come off is the wings. These were jamming against the doors, causing damage to those, so we're keen to get these off quickly too.
I mean, I suppose you can do it that way.
It's out of the way, doesn't it?
Yeah, I guess. We are keen to get all this off because we need to see how bad the structural damage is to this tub section. Before we've replaced one from here forwards, we're hoping this time we don't have to do that and it'll be a more isolated repair to like the boot area basically. Meaning that in theory, we might not have to touch any of the subframe mounting points. That's our hope anyway.
Now, organising these projects is never easy, but that's why I thought it would be great to make an app for it.
Most of us have great app ideas, but unless you can code, they usually just stay as ideas. Which is exactly where Lovable comes in. Lovable turns your ideas into reality. Using simple, plain English prompts, it can build a fully working app in just minutes. You describe what you want, and Lovable does the rest. Check this out, we need something to help us make a checklist for jobs on these projects. Just type the idea in here, and in seconds, Lovable generates the perfect app for the task. As you can see, the app we've created has a section for all the broken parts that we can track here, our replacement parts here, we can add an item and select how important it is, the progress on the parts, and even the estimated cost. Also, another section for future upgrade ideas, all of which will hopefully save us loads of time getting this Porsche running as quickly as possible. And if it's not quite right, just tweak your prompt and Lovable will update the app in real time. And as you can see, we've also added a part for pictures. Building apps isn't just for the tech-savvy people anymore, it's for everyone. Lovable is one of the fastest growing startups ever. It's already helping creators, small businesses, and even huge corporate companies building apps. All of that without writing a single line of code. Whether you just want to test a small idea or build the next world-changing social media platform, Lovable makes it fun, fast, and accessible. So to turn your app dreams into reality, go and check Lovable out using the link in the description or in the pinned comment on this video. Use code SLIXYT20 for 20% off. Big thanks to Lovable for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back to the Porsche.
So the passenger side is near enough stripped down as much as we need to. Now we can move on to the driver's side, so that means off with the rad pack and the wing.
We have the front end now stripped down. Obviously the front section here is about where we want to draw the line on replacing. We don't have to touch these bits back here. So what we need to try and aim to do is keep as much back here as intact as possible. Replace everything here and a little bit more to make sure that it's going to be straight and everything lines up beautifully. So Mickey is now going to try and tell you exactly where we're going to cut, replace and how we're going to do it.
You can't really see up there, but there's a chassis leg inside what looks like chassis out here. There's a good bend and we need to replace that. My thinking is, this is a panel, that's a panel, that is part of that panel and it overlaps our chassis or inner wing should do. So we're going to undo all of this, all the way around, and we're literally going to take the tub off from there forward and put our new piece straight on so it's like factory. I'm going to start drilling again.
So in short, the chassis leg is going to remain inside there, but this outer skin is going to get cut about here. On the inside, we're going to unpick this panel for a start. Boom,
Yep.
boom.
Apart from this solid piece of cast alley where the subframe bolts to, that's a panel, that's a panel, that's a panel, that's a panel. Even this little panel right across there is one single panel. It's made up of multiple panels.
Okay,
Right,
should we get going?
let's do this.
Sweet. The problem we're having is because of this front section being pushed in, it's stopping us getting this aluminium tray out the bottom. So what we're going to try and do is use this portal power to push off one of the subframe mounting points, just to tweak that forward a bit. It doesn't need a lot, but it needs just enough so we can get this out.
With that piece now pushed out the way, it reveals the actual boot floor of the car, and now you can see exactly how creased and damaged it is.
Right, it's the next day. We've been down to SGS and picked up a bunch of new cobalt drill bits because we're going to have to drill through a lot of rivets to get this off. Porsche want, I think it's £7,000 for all of the sections to repair this, which is basically from here forwards a repair section for the chassis leg, because you've got the option to buy a repair piece rather than the full lot. But instead of doing that, what we're going to do is buy this second-hand cut, which basically cuts through here and through here as well, like that. And what that's going to give us the option to do is still use the same Porsche methods, but it's going to save us a lot of work and a lot of time, and also it's half the price, which I think is the better way of doing it. So I suppose let's drill through a gazillion rivets. Also, if you do want to grab anything from SGS, if it's SGS branded, like all of their jacks, compressors, toolboxes, all the stuff that you see in our videos all the time, or now anything Riker branded as well, make sure to go and check them out. Use discount code SLIX5, which is going to save you 5% off anything that is SGS or Riker branded on the SGS website. Links in the description. So we can try and preserve the bits that we want to preserve. What we're going to do is take this off piece by piece. It's going to be nicer, neater, and mean it will be much more accurate when we come to fit up our new bit. So I'm going to tackle this bit first, Mickey's going to tackle that bit, and we're going to get the whole front end of this stripped down. Hey! This is how thin all these bits are, by the way. Just to give you an idea of the actual strength that's in them. All the strength comes from the way they're put together, which is with the rivets and the bond, which creates like a... It's supposed to be stronger than a weld.
That tube of stuff's like 360 quid.
It was last time.
Yeah, that is expensive glue. Oh.
Go on, lad. Go on. Tug it off. That's it. Work it, baby. Work it. Oh, you'll miss the last one. He did.
Pulled her out though. Super, look at that.
Yeah, that couldn't have gone much better up here.
No, so now it's being dead careful along that bit.
Yeah, being careful with the jointer here.
Yeah, where we're going to meet our new panel up to.
Yeah.
It's just a case now of carefully unpicking all of the rivets and then breaking the bond in between the panels and taking off each panel piece by piece. And trust me, it's not a fast process.
Hopefully now you can see the bits that we're trying to maintain. This is the bit that's underneath, which obviously on both sides is bob on. No movement there. And to be fair, the only real movement has been in these legs, we think, just a slight tweak over. This one more so. But our idea is to try and keep everything here that's straight and nice in place. So we haven't got to take out the fuel tank, subframe, all of these sorts of bits, which are just, it adds hugely to the job. The less you can disturb stuff, the better, we think.
The thing is, add another day at least to take all that out.
Oh yeah, it's a day's work.
Yeah, all day long. Right, let's get going.
And now all the bits up top are out the way, it's onto the actual boot floor. So again, there's more rivets to drill out, but thankfully we don't think we have to go any further back than where we're doing now.
why we're not doing this on the ramp. Use the jack.
It'll literally lift it straight out.
Okay, that sounds great. Why did we not just do that to begin with?
Well, because I like you to learn, Chris. And that is the hack.
Explain to me why we've not drilled all the way through, making a hole for the new rivet to go through when we put the new piece in.
Because I don't want to ruin our panel.
Okay.
We can clearly see where our rivet holes are.
Yeah.
And when we line it all up, it's going to be a lot easier to guess where, right, that's where it is. There's a loads of referencing points for us to get this exactly in the right place. These might be a little bit too big because we're taking the heads off and our rivet's going to be a tiny bit smaller.
Okay.
So if we just put a little smaller hole through, other than the big one we're trying to knock the edge off. It's going to make it easier, I think, instead of having a rivet in a massive hole.
Yeah, it should be baggy, wouldn't it?
But now we're on the final leg of rivets that we need to remove. We've got this front section to take off, then that should bring the boot floor with it.
There it is, look at it go. This is where Mickey comes alive.
You love it.
Yeah. Yeah, boy! Do you know what? I could not be happy with how that came apart.
And look, there is the only little bit of damage. That's now fixed.
It's brilliant because this is you cannot argue that is immaculate. To do this by the Porsche method, we've got to hope that inside the chassis leg here, the internal part of the chassis leg, which gives the structure, comes up this far, because if it doesn't, that means we're going to have to strip everything even further back to be able to splice it in back here, which means stripping everything else out, and it's going to be so much more of an involved job.
And let's be honest, even seeing it at this point is a little bit scary. And to splice it in further back means removing the fuel tank, the subframe, the steering rack, so many components, and it's not going to be quick.
Obviously now everything is stripped down. The only thing we've got left to take off is the chassis legs, and the important bit with this, making sure the bit internal on the chassis leg, we're going to test Ross's newfound animation skills now, because we have the external skin of the chassis leg, then inside that is the structural bit, which then stretches back through the car, which isn't so easy to replace. Now obviously Porsche sell you a outer repair section, but the inner part goes so far back you would then end up stripping down the whole car. So we want to see on both sides whether that internal part is going to be okay, and the only way to do that, should we say it together?
Let's chop it.
I was going to say get your chopper out, but... We've got to be careful here, because if we cut too deep, we could potentially then be cutting through our internal chassis leg. So we want to cut far enough into it that we can see what's going on, but not so far that we end up doing big damage, you know what I mean? Give ourselves a little bit to play with, and we'll go here. Goggles on, guys. Everyone at home, get your goggles on, get your PPE on.
Needs a new blade. But he'll go for it.
I know this looks a bit dramatic because this leg doesn't really look bent, but it has got a slight bow because it's obviously been pushed over with this one. I think the best option is to replace it because we want it to be arrow straight, right? And there's no point replacing one because then this one won't line up because it'll be like that.
Oh, and there she is. Well, that was a good shot, sir.
Oh, mate, that's so far back, isn't it?
It's literally, that bolt is where the strength of the front chassis is. It's because it's got no engine in the front, it's simple as that.
This is the point here, just after this rivet, where we cut that side, and it was very, very close to those inner structural bits. And you can see here, the damage and the bend is over that mark. So fingers crossed, the bits inside haven't had it.
He looks alright.
She looks perfect, mate.
Yeah.
The only tiny
It's got
bit
a
is
tiny little love tap there.
where it's creased on this inner edge. The bit where it comes up ever so slightly has just had a little tap. But apart from that, I think we're good. So we now have the front end off, stripped down, ready for repair. Now we've got to wait for that part to arrive, or conglomerate of parts, but that should be here very soon. But for now, I think we've got something which can help us a little bit along the way. I've heard a rumour that I need to fact check, but it's from a reliable source, that the front end part number on this car, so the part which does this, which we replaced on the GT4, is exactly the same as the GT4, which we have outside. So we can take all the measurements we want to from this and compare them to this one. Apparently it's the same part number, so it's just the back of the car which is technically different. So once I've got all this stripped back, we should have exactly the part that we need from there. Now we replaced this one from way back here, so if we're using a comparison measurement from here forwards, it will be 100% because Porsche put it together. So that should save us, if that's correct, a lot of guesswork, which should make repairing this section a lot easier. Like I say, we can use that to reference this, hopefully. I will check that though. But as we go around the rest of the car, you can see it's not just isolated to the front end, because even though the sides are looking pretty good, the other side, we've got a couple of little dents, nothing too crazy. But as you come around the back, you can see rear lights are done, rear bumper's done, and unfortunately, it's actually gone into the rear quarter a bit. You can see here, I can get my finger inside. That's because it split the weld. So we need to look into how to repair that, because I'd ideally not want to replace this. And unfortunately, one part, well, 4 parts that are damaged on the car are the lights. This rear light is also damaged as well, and not going to be usable again because it's cracked all the way down here, and both of the rear lights are missing. But maybe this would be the ideal time to upgrade them and maybe possibly make it look like the newer one. Now you guys want to know obviously what I paid for this car. I said that it probably would have gone for more if it ran through an auction with Copart. And I think I'm right, because on top of that, obviously, they've got other people bidding you up, you've got the fees and things like that. So in short, the price that I paid is, ooh, 37,000. What do you think? I don't think it's too shabby, because the car is such low mileage. It's got 14,000 miles on it. I don't know if I got that right earlier in the video, but it's got 14,000 miles on it. 4 owners from new, and it's 11 coming on 12 years old. I don't think it's too shabby. It is categorised, it's a category S. It's a turbo variant, not a turbo S, which obviously is slightly cheaper. But I think the spec's all right on it. It has got what looks to be an upgraded sound system, a bunch of carbon fibre inside, a panoramic roof. I know the rear wiper is an optional extra, which I don't really like. I think that's about right. We paid 29,000 for the GT4, and that was in a much worse state and needed a lot more work, and is technically a less expensive car. So let me know in the comments, what do you think to the price we paid? I think it's pretty fair.
Now we've seen it time and time again that when we take parts off cars, they reveal more broken parts, and we want to see what's going on the rear end. So let's see what this rear bumper's hiding.
Oh, is the bolts going straight down?
This must come up.
Yeah, it must go like that.
Yeah.
Just done some researching. Oh, we don't want to do that. Apparently the spoiler's got to come up, and I think that is that, but at the moment we've got so much stuff disconnected. Okay, that's because I've got to do my thing, so if I go insert secret passcode. How are we going to get that up then? No. Because the front end's not connected and all the earths are off and there's a bunch of other stuff missing, the dash doesn't know it's connected, meaning that when we do the sequence to trigger the ghosts so it de-immobilises it, it doesn't know that it's done it, therefore it won't start, and without it starting, we can't use the button to raise the spoiler, meaning that we can't take the bumper off. So, to get in there, we're going to have to get this car back together. So like us, if you want to see what's going on back there and if you're enjoying this Porsche project, make sure to subscribe to the channel, make sure to like this video.
And make sure to hype it, it's a new thing. I don't know quite what sure it is, I have no idea, but it seems to get the video out a bit further. Swipe left on the comments, hit hype, gets us a little bit more out there, don't you say?
I've never heard anything about it, apparently it's a thing. If you can do it, we can try it out, it would be very much appreciated. But for now, I shall catch you next time.